kompe kwanza kwa trend yangu manze aise musinilete hii ni show ya so the directors and everybody out there, producers, they're all singing. The legend is right here with his beautiful wife. I'm talking about Bamboo and Erica.
Yeah.
Yo, it is such an amazing honor to have you guys. We
Thank
have
you.
definitely saved the best for last.
Thank you.
And I like this demeanor, energy,
Yeah.
chilled out.
Yeah.
Before we get into the real serious kind of interview, Erica, how did you meet this Kenyan legend?
I invited him to Uganda.
Serious?
Yeah, and then
Bamboo, Mkenya tu ungikosa kwenda.
Niliexportiwa.
For real, so okay, wait, let's go back. Yeah, you invited him to Uganda.
yeah, I met him through a friend, and they met with that friend through Facebook.
Yeah.
So I started talking to him about my ministry. Then later I invited him to come and do ministry with us, and that's how we met.
Is this journey or after your way to Damascus? Like when this journey
Oh yeah,
happened?
this was long afterward. This was afterwards, and we met through the friend in common that we have is called Tommy. Yeah, and his dad was the Archbishop Silas Owiti, who was very well known in Kisumu. So shout out to Tommy, by the way. And yeah, so he introduced us, even though I had not met with Tommy personally. And so he introduced me to her, and then we started chatting and talking. And then I met with her even before I met with Tommy personally. But he had
in
connected
terms of
us.
connections with her.
Yeah.
So now let's go back to when this journey began for you, as we slowly get into meeting Erica and also getting to know her journey. Bamboo, the secular artist,
Yeah.
deciding to, or sort of, not really deciding because it's not a choice you make. It's a calling.
Yeah.
Getting called and getting saved and beginning your journey in the gospel industry, sort of in the ministry.
Yeah.
When did that moment happen, and what was that voice like? What was the message?
It was definitely a process. It doesn't happen quickly because salvation, Christianity, it requires a whole deprogramming of whatever you learned from childhood up to the point you got saved, and then a complete reprogramming of everything you've learned, everything, from childhood up to the point you got saved. So for me, it was tough. And then the spotlight was on me at the same time. So whatever is happening as I'm trying to make this transformation is being publicized, So it was definitely a difficult one, and as soon as you get saved, it's these forces trying to pull you back, and you start getting used to dealing with them. You start, it's like training, it's almost like learning to box by being thrown into the ring, And so I began going through the process and learning and increasing in knowledge and wisdom, and it was a process.
Yeah.
But it was triggered by certain events that took place that made me very
Open up your
shocked.
eyes. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked and disappointed at the same time at some of the things I witnessed in the secular industry.
You also come from a very interesting family, because the kids in the family are, secular artists, apart from yourself now, and your parents are in the ministry.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel pressure growing up that this is probably how you are gonna end up? And how does your mom and dad feel right now, knowing that our son is a gospel?
Yeah. One thing is salvation is very personal, and you make the decision when you come to the realization of certain things.
Yeah.
Okay. So I came through a process before I came to this realization of what is really going on, And I've always been the freedom fighter type of guy, even in our Nairobi days when we did the first album, we were talking about how corruption is the order of the day, we're being plundered as the youth, we had no voice, and hip hop gave us a voice and a platform to speak out about the wrongs that were going on in society, and the older generation seems to have turned their backs on us, and it's like everybody fend for themselves, So, when I made that decision, it definitely made my parents very, very happy. But I think a lot of parents are trying to teach their children what Christianity is, but they don't know how to explain it. They don't know how to put it across. They don't know how to explain why it is. Teach this thing. So it just looks like some religious practice, and they don't understand what's going on here. Why are you doing this? Why are you praying? Why are you abstaining from these things all of a sudden? You know, things that we used to call fun. You realize later on that, hey, man, we're being set up. You know, we're just falling into the trap. And I think when I began to realize what's going on, it was shocking and disappointing, you know, because I just wanted to be a star like anyone else.
Yeah,
you know?
Erica, your journey is quite interesting, and I've seen a lot of stuff online and watched you online from, you know, doing music and your involvement in, you know, in the dark world, so to say. And you have all the books that you've written, or?
We've written books with my husband, but 2 books are about my life. And then this one, he talks about money, the truth about money.
So we have this one book here, it's The Truth About Money.
Yeah. Then there is Erica Part 1, 7 Years in Hell.
Okay, so so there's this book, and it's all The Truth About Money by Tim Simon Bamboo Kimani. We also have another book. This is the Part 1, Erica Part 1, 7 Years in Hell. There's also this book right here that I want right there, A Story of Hell, Witchcraft and Family. And we also have Erica Part 2, 18 Years with Lucifer. This is the continuation of 7 Years in Hell. Definitely, we want to know how this journey
started.
Yeah.
I was born in a Christian family, but my grandmother on my paternal side was a high-level sorcerer. So being her favorite, she wanted me to inherit her sorcery. So she started initiating me when I was young, and at age 8, she had fully initiated me, because she knew that coming from a Christian family, my parents wouldn't want me to do what she was doing, so she did it without my parents knowing. Yeah, so at age 8, during holidays, we would be taken to grandma, and then when we are supposed to start school is when we would go back to our parents. So she used that time when I visited her during holidays and initiated me into sorcery. So by the time I went back home, I was a high-level sorcerer. I was now controlling the eastern principalities of Uganda. Yeah. So at that age, someone would ask, why at that age? Because you are very young. But Satan wants people who are innocent, because when you're innocent, you work according to whatever they tell you to do. You won't be in a position of asking why. Everything they tell you to do, you do because of your innocence. Yeah, so at age 11 is when my auntie introduced me to the world. Because much as I was involved in sorcery, I was raised by a Christian family. So now I was introduced to the world through my relative, and then she introduced me to certain musicians in Uganda. They are popular. So that's how I now became friends with the musicians. And then from there, I met with an artist who also now took me deeper into Satanism. At age 11, it is through that musician that I met with Lucifer. So my journey when I was growing as a child was painful, because whatever happened to me, really, I had no choice over everything that happened to me. It was just like a series of events.
Of events orchestrated by someone else on your life.
Yes.
And I would really recommend that you guys get the books that we've shown you guys, and we'll definitely also put these books up on social media so you can get to read this journey. But Bamboo, even as we get ready to wind up, because one of the interesting lessons we have to learn from today is the fact that a lot of people who are supposed to take care of us play a huge role in defining and molding who we become. But they take that opportunity to mold us and live precariously through us and be what they want us to be. Your mom, because I'm a close friend to your sister, Victoria Kimani.
Yeah, she's
And and your mom has a children's home.
Yes.
And we have an amazing campaign by Geisha. It's all about mothers and the love and the sacrifice that mothers make for their children. And I believe you guys, you have children together, or?
No, not
Yo.
yet.
That was prophetic.
That was prophetic.
You didn't get it. You guys, that was prophetic. You're coming there, man. So, and your mom has a children's home, and
Yes.
she definitely has played a huge role not only in your lives, but also in the lives of other children. What is your take and sort of the last word on when we are given a responsibility as adults to take care of those kids, of those children, to mold them to become the future? What is your advice, and how do you also honor your mom today?
Yeah, I thank God for my mother and my father. I mean, because they've poured themselves into me and really helped to make me what I am today, you know. And one of the things that leaders can do is to inspire personal leadership in the next generation. And to do so is to help them to realize whatever gifting they have. Because if you just teach everyone the same, the way they do in school, you're assuming they all have the same giftings. So it's like telling a monkey to swim, you know, but the monkey doesn't swim. The monkey's better at climbing trees than it is at swimming. So when you put the monkey in the forest, you see its genius, you know, coming up. So we want to, you know, inspire them to realize what their gifts are, because God has given us each gifts, and then use those gifts positively in life, and your gifts will bring you before great people. And if you keep refining your gift and practice it and become better and better at it, you can utilize that to help other people. And the more assistance you can provide to others, the more relevant you become.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's sad that we cannot have a longer conversation than this.
Yes.
But we're going to put up the books on social media, on Twitter. Remember to hashtag #HeyAnto at NTV Kenya, The Trend Live. And we have so much more that you can get to learn from these books, and where you can also find the books and get to know more about them. We also have Jam of the Week right here on The Trend. Mr. Director, where are Jams of the Week?
My dear love, Ijeko when we need Kenny Wagana na Pankata in a Tiana Gabo Mego ni Aguadata.
Oh, my dear love. You don't talk about your column to boot, you don't move a car. You don't talk.
So we cannot go by without being Kenyan, and you guys shouting out your people.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we're interested also to know is how you were able to get deliverance. But that is information that I'd like people to buy these books and
It's in the
support you.
books.
Yeah,
And get that.
Yeah.
But also, you guys, you should shout out your people. Yeah.
A big shout out to you know, my mom and dad, definitely. A big shout out to Father's House Church. Come visit us in Riru. We're there every Sunday, every day, really. And we have awesome youth programs where we are promoting young youth. Big shout out to Voshti, you know, one of the dopest rappers coming up in Riru, and all the youth in Riru and Father's House, man. We love you. You know what it is. And Bamboo's dropping more music. Just because I'm married doesn't mean I'm not dropping music. So
and
watch this space.
You've now moved to Kenya.
Yes.
You see what happened?
Yeah.
This Sebo asked you told this Sebo to come to Uganda.
Yeah.
See what he did.
brought me
Now, Nyabo, you're here.
Export, import.
I know, but thank you so much. I schooled in Uganda at a place called Migade.
Wow.
Yeah, so I also feel your energy, manze. I wish you'd just come with some food.
Yeah.
Like
Some
G-nuts.
matoke.
Yeah, some G-nuts.
Some matoke.
Yeah, from Uganda, but now I see why Bamboo is adding weight.
Matoke Luombo.
Oh my goodness. So you guys, we the show is over, but DJ E is about to turn this place upside down because it's about to be really, really lit.